Right. Hello, YouTube. Um, this is a bit of a confession. I haven't done anything in the hobby for 15, 16 years, something like that. 8th edition has just been released. Uh, 9gag now has a dedicated Warhammer channel. Basically, I got big into it because of a confluence of events that I didn't really see coming. I got kind of bored with video games. Um, Frustrated with mobile games and their payment structures. I haven't done anything with my art degree since pretty much graduating, so I decided to get back into this, and of course I've already made several big mistakes. Namely, I have ordered more models and things than I have time to paint. And despite having listened to and watched some videos on YouTube, including Adams at Tabletop Minions, who is there to prevent people like me from doing stupid things like buying really, really expensive models and not being in a prepared state to paint them. I have done just that anyway, so I thought I'd share it with you. Today, a box came in the mail, looks a lot like this. Um, it is from the Royal Mail Nottingham, which is quite nice, which is, of course, Games Workshop head office. A bit surprising, really, considering I live in Japan and there are Games Workshops near me in Tokyo. And you might expect Games Workshop to have either some sort of stockpile here or at least maybe a low production value production center. But no, everything gets shipped from England, so it took a while to get here. I ordered this stuff June 28th. It is now July 7th here. That would be July 6th if you're watching this in the US or in Britain. Actually, you guys may have just woken up July 7th. Anyway, I'm going to open it for you to show you what I got. Big surprise for everyone except me, obviously. I do have an Exacto already, which is something I could say at least I have going for me. I actually bought a bunch of stuff. I bought paints and brushes and cutting mats and things like that. But here it is. I will attempt to show you what I got. Let's start with this one, because this is one of the models I haven't seen since I stopped playing, and is absolutely fantastic. That, if you can see that there, is a giant orc in heavy armor with some sort of monster skull on his pauldron and a giant axe. Honestly, what is not to like? So very happy with that. This is likely going to be my first model that I'm going to paint, so it might get kind of interesting. Depending on how well I do, I might actually order another one and just create a series. We'll see. The second thing I ordered is this, which, bit of background. Yes, this is a filthy Xenos flying Hive Tyrant and or Tyrant, hang on, what's it called? Swarm Lord. You remember the Swarm Lord from getting his ass kicked by the Ultramarines. Yeah, blood armor. Don't get me started. Anyway, I used to not play, but collect and try and paint Tyranids. This was back in, I don't know, 4th, 5th edition. I don't really remember the editions lining up well with the years I remember from college, but I had an enormous Tyranid army that I never once put on a tabletop and played someone with. I never finished painting it. I had ambitious conversions going on that most of them were never painted. Basically, I did everything wrong the first time. I'm trying not to do that this time. With the best intention in the world, I'm not really interested in going out to my local game shop here in Tokyo and having a game with someone there, even if I did decide to put an army together, which I highly doubt I will. I am more or less purely in it for the aesthetic. Specifically, some models are just so visually striking and so appealing from a artistic point of view that you just want to put them together and paint them and put them somewhere and look at them and admire them. So I'm going to try and do that. That being said, I'm going to use a ton of YouTube tutorials to help me do that. Like I said, I did go to art school. However, art school at no point had a class that said, hey, today we're going to learn how to paint miniatures. That just didn't happen. So the painting I used to do is probably quite bad. Like, I understand the technical aspects of painting probably better than an average beginner, but I'm going to, for for the purpose of these two models I just bought, consider myself a beginner, try and do it right, nice and slow, watch YouTube tutorials, and if all goes well, you get to come along for the ride. It's a bit of a different channel than you might be used to. This is not a pro painter telling you how to paint. This is not a veteran hobbyist telling you how to hobby. This is someone, I imagine, a lot like a lot of people coming back to, well, in this case, Warhammer 40k and Age of Sigmar, as it's now called, used to be called Warhammer Fantasy or whatever. I'm coming back after an enormous break, if you want to call it that. It's probably the worst word imaginable to describe the span of 15 years. But yeah, basically a decade and a half of inactivity in the hobby or in painting. So, like I said, let's treat me like a noob and see how we go. I'm going to unbox these things. I'm going to have a look at some of my options, and I will return to you with an update just as soon as there is one. This is a new channel, which means you get to hit subscribe and see my very second video, probably middle of next week. That'll be something like July 11th or 12th, depending on my work schedule. And I very much look forward to sharing my experiences with you, hearing your comments, seeing your comments in the comment section, the complaints about all the things I'm doing wrong already. But I will take advice. I will take links to your YouTube channel. I will take painting advice. I'll take modeling advice. I'll take basing advice, which I've never done. Don't be shy. I'm here for you. And I'm going to try and enjoy these two models. I'm going to not build the probably Wing Tyrant. I'm going to build the Swarmlord and Uruk Megaboss. God, he's badass. Anyway, thanks YouTube. See you around.